What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Men Ain't Shit podcast. Hey, man, Marsh. I'm here with my fellas, Mr. Avery over there.
Sorry, sir.
And that's who else we got. Our newest member of the cast, Mr. T. Russ. What's going on?
Sir, Thomas Canelo really hell want to get together. Yeah, my first time here, so
Good to have you on here now, man.
It's real good to have you on here, man. This episode 12, we got a special episode. We're out here live at Porta Rossa, man. So if y'all haven't had a chance to check out, please come check out Porta Rossa. I'm very happy and thankful for them letting us have a live podcast, our first live podcast. So we are ready to go, man. We're going to go back to the topic today, fellas. The topic today. So before we get into it, please make sure, if you haven't already, go like and subscribe to our YouTube. Go follow the Instagram page, the Men Ain't Shit podcast. That's SHTT, you gotta know. And make sure that you support it. So, fellas, we're going to get into it today. The topic for today is generational curses. Generational curses are
big factor in today's world.
big factor.
Literally talking.
We're talking about generational curses. And
Generational.
so, maybe we'll come to life first. Because with generational curses, that could really lead to a lot of problems from childhood, trauma, and so forth. So,
Absolutely.
what's a generational curse that you see most common at your time? That's something that people really work out for themselves, into a relationship, friendship.
Me personally, I would say like that now. Like you be some people leave their family, you just see like it's the ignorance of your dad. They speak out and stuff. It's not like just some people. But I've mostly in my life experience, a lot of people just like negativity. Like they don't have a lot of positivity in their family. So they pass it down and try to, I wouldn't say train their kids, but like they have it in their like, I can't really say it, but they put it into the kids' brain, like how they act, how they wear, they bring that negativity and they pass it down to them. So that's how kids are raised now. Now you see like how there's a lot of hypersensitivity, you can't say nothing, you hurt somebody for I mean, it's a lot of negativity that. Yeah, man, on a topic like this, I would start with, like, the first thing on my mind goes to, like, sense of relevance. So, I would ask y'all, like, what's the most recent example, like, generational person, so, like, looking back and holding somebody together for some people. So, that you put out there.
Yeah. Basically, the question I was got into, so the generational curse would be, for example, if you come from either mom wasn't there, dad wasn't there, okay, you can project that in yourself to your potential partner. That's something that has to be broken because that it becomes a cycle. The generational curse is like a cycle. Yeah, so much rest. But you can stay in that, and you're going to get a lot of maybe going to end up with a lot of hurt,
Broken people.
yeah, we're all broken people.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
Everyone's
hurt, so it does become harder to get over. So, in the software game, let's just say you have a man from that perspective. Okay? You have a man that grew up, no father in the house with him. So he sees the woman's perspective, right? So they didn't necessarily have a fatherly figure to help him show him what man is supposed to be.
Yeah,
And you can't have mentors, or maybe grandfather steps up, maybe an uncle steps up, right, to replace that. Or if not, as living in your life, you can still find and still be with a man, you still learn to become a man, but you're the essence of that male figure, someone that you see every day that says, hey, this is how a man's supposed to be. This is how you're supposed to treat your mom. This is how you're supposed to treat you. This is how you're supposed to go about life. This is how you're supposed to handle your business.
Yes. I agree. Because I kind of come from that background. You know, I was raised mostly around all over, so I had to learn how to do it in my own ways. They took me to all my taking like 25 to be learning like that by myself. You know, and but once I learned, once that kicked in with me, it gave me a whole new perspective on everything. Like,
No, I mean, I respect everything that y'all saying about the topic of the person. I'm just a little curious, like how is the generation commercial in your everyday life, present day, like what makes it important? Because there's so many topics that have become like buzzwords on the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's turning around, everybody's floating these terms around. But I'm just like let's really get into it. Like how is it affecting you? It's like I don't really care how it's affecting the internet personally. How is it affecting my boy? You know what I'm saying? How do you
it's me personally, like I see it just like you said, like I try to spread positivity and try to bring it around my personal circle. But I see it like you said, all the girls learning, all the fish and people going around now, you know, they don't be like you teach them, you educate them, and you know, you help break that generational person that they're gonna pass down probably to their kids. They don't know, I don't want to say they don't know better, but they just haven't learned a certain thing. How to show that person. To me.
In my life, okay, generational curse would be like medical. It can be a medical thing, okay? So, for example, someone that has cancer, or someone in the family has high blood pressure, because they weren't eating correctly, you know, they take care of their bodies and check their doctor as regularly as they need to, right? So then, me, growing up, seeing them having an issue, right? Cut back on the salt, cut back on the sugar, don't eat as much, you know, this, that, doing whatever. Right? And so that more than anything is a generational person I feel is more prevalent in my life.
So for you, it's more about health consciousness.
It's more about health person.
Okay, that's a big one. That's a big one because a lot of us, that's like a lot of us. I think it's safe to say, respectfully, amongst Black households as a whole, they can easily be looked over.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant for sure. Funny you bring that up because I know for a fact that when I was growing up, when I grew up privileged, you know what I mean, like, you know, and something like that is still pretty much but man, I used to eat meat like crazy. I thought every meal had to be meat. You know what I'm saying? And that was a hard habit. So you get so realize like you need to break it. Sometimes still like you know, always eat it all day. So man, yeah, bro. Like my dad used to hate meat when I was a kid, bro. He was like, "Were you eating more than me? I don't pay bills and stuff." So, that's yeah. So, hey, what's like what's the real example for you? Like, you could say like in the last 3 years, like you really got to face this like face to face, like generational person, like.
Ooh, the last 3 years, I would say, just being an adult, most of my family, like most of all, me and all my friends, we raised by single parent household. So like we're all male, and like so really just having to break into that generation first. Like one of my cousins, he has a bias and he's funny as people, so that's a good step. Other than that, like most of my cousins. I'm the last one to have kids, so I'm trying to break that curse of having to raise a child by myself or having his mom raise my myself. So I'm trying to break that generation of person my family.
That's a big one too. Another one can be, for example, if you were raised and all you see is anger around someone, right? Yeah. Put to anger. You don't want to bring that to your next 2 years of another, right? Like, I don't want to be yelling at my spouse or yelling at my child. And I was doing that as a child. Over and over, really. Yeah, there's some parts where you're not disciplined, you're not
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
but you don't want to do it to where it's detrimental to the development of the child, it's detrimental to the like, continuous development of the relationship. So that's another one that you have to do. Watch out for. You have to slow your anger. You have to really look at it and say, well, is this really going on for like this?
Right. Yeah. No, big facts. I mean, I'm sure we all can relate to like growing up. Sometimes you have to ask yourself as a kid, like yo, are y'all amused? Out of this conversation we have right now, like couple always like the parents and parents, it's like, yo, are you getting like those satisfaction? You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to tell them kids sometimes. You know, they go putting that across the line. I mean, you know, I know my parents, they used to schedule ass me out. I go to school and I get a text, you know, by the time I'm going up to have the phone, I get a text. By the way, you getting your ass up to 8 or I'm like, huh? Oh,
You're trying to find excuse to stay in school.
like, practice it a little late today, practice it.
Yeah, let's study home. Let's study home.
Show up, you get there, you walk to that door, and they looking at you, and they're just like, well, how you doing there? They forgot. You know, get to the bathroom, close the door, you think they're doing their night routine. Next thing you know, you go door creep on you.
Oh, okay, we had to.
I want you to slap that shit. My parents' names are up. I'll go to a member of the goddamn family. My dad ain't even know next caliber. I ain't going away. I'll be fucking sitting there thinking of about to lay down and play the games. I do a peek over, he come in. Yeah. But I forgot.
Go straight from the round table.
Absolutely. Oh, he got to put it down.
Boston original said,
See your boss.
I'm like, so yeah, you do but if I say this today, they'll be like, well, you know, we've had it worse.
Yeah, big word.
you know, like the generation gonna say, you know, that they have it worse. I mean, look at, we're, you know, all, we're all living, and we look at generation, actors to say, Gen Z, they're soft.
I personally,
They're YNs.
personally, I'm 6.5 years older than my youngest brother. I cannot remember a single day he got a vote. Like,
Because he did.
I can't remember. I ain't gonna say it never happened. I can't remember. You remember? I really don't. And I'm talking. I used to get beat up for looking like I thought about it. Talking back. Right. What's that look? Come here. Fuck you looking at, boy. I know that.
Hey, you remember fiction things?
Yeah, so then like, but I don't, I went, and while I was, in my career, I used to come home to visit in the summer, and I came home in summer. I remember like in his junior year, so senior year of high school, and I don't watch him stare my pops down, like me looking and shit. I'm looking at this to be.
You were just in shock.
And my pop looked up at me, he go, go get this little motherfucker before I do something. You do something. I'm like, what? Boy, I said, I done been held up on my shirt. Everything. Nah, but yeah, but again,
You were that generation of curse.
right, they broke. they broke it. So I guess it was like at the end of the tunnel or something.
Yeah. They,
But yeah, nah, man.
Absolutely, that's right. So, if we're gonna talk about generation credits as far as, let's just go to a relationship. Like, what's the generation that you don't want to bring to a relationship?
cheating, abuse.
What are the methods to
If that's the breaking
ensure that you do not commit cheating?
Just don't get a hold. Like, what's the name? Just don't listen to people when you're in a relationship. To me, that's what I think.
Who do you see cheating in a relationship?
Like my uncles, my grandfather.
You know what? I imagine you had this topic because now that we get into cheating, it's really the culture altogether. I would say the way I would word myself is like, for sure, like when I have kids, I'm not talking to my son, my daughter, unborn, born, 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old. I'm not programming their brain to think they gonna just be the biggest womanizer or, you know what I mean? Like, one thing I feel like don't get talked about enough, and I bring this up a lot, it's like, us, like, it's real bad. It was like this when I was a kid. Like, motherfuckers would be having their baby shower and everything, baby ain't even born yet. And they can rub them belly and all that, and they like that. Oh my God, he's gonna be so cute. He's gonna be such a player. Oh, crazy. And it's like, bro, they telling you that before you even touch her.
So that's like subconscious.
It's subconscious, like they telling you what they expect of you before you even get here. By the time you're 16, everybody in your don't let you actually be like a student.
Yeah.
By the time you're 16, everybody in their mama literally done told you. You know what I'm saying? They done told you like, ain't nobody get to you and says, you're gonna find you a good wife one day, you're gonna treat her so well.
So you're gonna be the player, you're gonna be this, that, just like,
And then by the time you're 21, your girl wondering why she can't get you to keep your eyes on her.
yeah, and it's like you ain't so,
And you don't got the answer.
built this way.
So, you think that when it comes to the ways in which girls are testing them all that the boys get more of a negative orientation of that they're such a player versus the girls, with the girls, it's like
The problem is they don't make it a negative connotation.
Yeah.
They make it sound like it's really like they hold to do.
Yeah, they make it sound like it's good when you're not.
And it's coming from the girls.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like your mom and your mom.
it's coming from the but I'm saying if it was boy versus girl, you know, what do they say about the
They're good, like they deserve it.
Yeah, the girl, you know, she's such a sweetheart, she's such a princess. You're gonna find you a good man one day. Ain't nobody telling the girl, oh girl, you like to have you a flop man. They're not doing this.
They're not telling us that they're gonna be like thirsty after.
Girl thinks she's Disney princess by the time she's 17. But lo and behold, the boy that she thinks is her prince, they're gonna be a him. He got more. You know what I'm saying? His mama told him to do that.
Exactly. And she cheering her mama too, like,
You know what I mean? Speaking facts.
you know,
Exactly.
they want their kids. That's the
I mean, I feel like I know I see that a lot in the Islamic community. I feel like it's probably, you know, I don't know how it is. You ain't got nothing about Latino, but you said anyway. I'm pretty sure the black and brown, I know that's common, but yeah, that's definitely one thing. Yeah, they have culture. Yeah, I think so. Society, you know, like,
yeah.
Okay, so you said cheating, what's the other that you said?
That's about this was that.
Oh, you said abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's abuse. Yeah.
So, how do you break out of it?
I'll say self-control. Try to just instead of reacting on that way, try to check on that shit.
Identification.
Yeah, self-identification.
First, you gotta identify what abuse looks like. Everybody thinks abuse is slapping somebody else like it starts before that.
It started with the mental. Because like my parents, I haven't realized like, oh, they were reflecting me up. I said, happened, you know, and they tried to do it while I was older, and when I went to Stanford, that's when they're like, oh, you had to get it. Right. It's like, I was not putting myself disrespectfully or being against the music. So, yeah, it all starts with mental first. And once you stand up for yourself, that then it gets confusing. So that's what I'm saying again.
When you think about, a lot of times when you think about abuse, is one thing I think that goes under way too much, is in my opinion, is verbal abuse. How you talk to your child. If you're going to cuss at your child when they're 5, 6 years old, 10 years old, before the time they develop that. They're saying it's toughening up, which can be true, yes, but also, if you're talking to your child in a certain way, that can be very, very dangerous in how they're going to talk to their significant other because of any point.
Especially
If you don't have that respect, like as a male, if you don't have that respect in your relationship, like there's no reason for it.
yeah, especially like when you're going at them and you're talking down on them and not trying to educate them. Like it's really special.
Yeah, that's it. If you're cussing at him or obviously you have played those conversations before. You know the difference between like there's no uplifting, there's no, good job, good job, whatever that you're
It's
doing.
always just a group.
Yeah, like obviously everybody has rules to improve, but there's just like, all right, what is the next thing? You gotta have that. Sometimes you do need those, especially again, because again, it's supposed to be hard and this, that, and that. Sometimes you do need those attacks. Good job. You know, you need those hugs. Good job. So I'm proud of you.
Do y'all think that amongst your community, like amongst your friends, that you, again, relevant to the personal life, do you feel like you see your friends' parents better? Do you feel like the trend is getting better or is it worse? What do y'all, what is it?
Between my friends, I think they literally get out there and themselves. Like you said, I'm trying to say that I'm sorry. Positivity growing up now instead of trying to grow up and get some trauma all the time. That's how I have a childhood instead of fucking up the kids instead of already understood the kids.
Yeah, I think the awareness has,
Yeah, that's what got awareness. Yeah.
conversations being had, the topic is popular, it's that and third. So I think it's moving to like the rest of just keep things in a positive mode. Highlight positive responsibilities. And I think after the mission, it was parents and scale, but legislative wise might be a little bit more. Yeah, it might be 50-50, you know. One thing I try to challenge myself when it comes to relationships and trying to break so-called relationship places. I try to look at it now, how you treat the person that you hate, the partner, or anything like how you treat how you parents, how you treat your friends. Like, I look around sometimes and I see like a lot of people in relationships that treat their partner a certain type of way and treat their friends way better.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was weird. I literally looked at a woman before and be like, yo, like, are we friends? Like,
Yeah.
like I know we're dating. Are we friends? It's like, I see how you talk to your own girls. You never talk to them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, can you talk to me when you talk to Clarissa? You know what I'm saying?
It's always yelling in the hospital.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you might get a good result. Like, you know, like,
Crazy job.
Again, that's just where that respect, how you say, because if you're talking, for me, if you're talking to your lady, or if your lady's talking to you, you want to make sure that, hey, we are on the same page. When I talk to my homies and my friends, I'm not going to talk to them. Of course, you have to have a different, you have to differentiate the two.
yeah. But what you mean when you say like you're not gonna talk to the girl when you talk to the home, like
So, okay, so if I'm kicking it with my homies, we have a certain way, like we'll talk to each other. That might be a little bit rougher, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to talk to really that way. You know, like I'm going to treat my relationship with respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be like for me. And this may just be me because I know a lot of people say this. I would never call my significant other bro. Not my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what to me. Like, if you're my bro, you be one of my homies.
Yeah.
Or an actual brother. If you have siblings. So
How do you, would you ever call your girl your, how you call her? Like, think it's not. Like, when you said it, it's like,
no. No, like I said, there's a way you differentiate. Well, it's kind of like when you're growing up and you're in your household with your family, you don't say that to them because it's a level of respect. What's at home is different than what you say at your home, right? And I use that same aspect of when I'm with myself. I don't know. Like, I don't know that, or I don't feel like some guys. I don't say that. Some guys will call it. I'm not gonna call it.
Me and my nigga, I don't call none of my niggas no bitch.
I don't either. I'm saying some guys do that. I don't play that.
As soon as I peep that shit, I create distance. Like,
Yeah.
that shit is not acceptable.
Like, yeah, I agree with you. I don't do that. But some people really feel that makes sense.
One thing I don't like, and I mean, I know some situations, you can't get away from it, but I hate to use the word if right now, but one thing that gives me the hate is like when the homies start adopting,
that's feminine behavior.
and I feel like the whole homies of this shit, like, that's adopting fucking thing, I don't like that shit. I don't even like when my homies, look at me and they go, not you.
Yeah, I hate that.
Not you.
Oh, you give it. Nah.
Bro, don't talk to me like don't slurp that. Don't slurp that generation person. It's like, leave that shit alone. Let the girls do that. That's how I be, man. My personal opinion. But I understand the sentiment of like, you know, keeping it sweet with your girl basically, like, you know, not getting rough with her. You know, it's kind of goes like the same. I must care. But at the same time, I ain't gonna lie.
You gotta be here and look as a friend too. Right, your friend too.
Yeah, and I might be jaded. I might be jaded, but I'm kind of over all that shit. On that shit.
Yeah,
I might be jaded.
talk.
It might be jaded because I'm like, I feel like as soon as I give like girlfriend voice or boyfriend voice, like now you see a weakness, sir.
Yeah.
And you might not act like that today. You might not act like that tomorrow. But I feel like somewhere down the line, like you start looking at me like you could beat me up or something.
That's what
I get what you're saying.
No, that's a toxic thing though.
No, so
And a healthy relationship probably should have been
I'll say this, like, yeah. So the way I look at it is, like, that's like, that's like, okay, she is my best friend. At the end of the day, I'm there for her, she's there for me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that is the only best friend I have. Having said that, there's ways to talk to her. He said he's talking to what is also that respect. It's that respect that's on. So where, you know, at the end of the day, there's a line. She's not going to cross the line. You're not going to cross, right? Because once you do cross that line, what does it happen? You're going to have a whole bunch of problems that you really can't. Because once you cross the line and you say something, you can't take that back, right? And as a young kid is growing up, right? I'm sure there's things my parents at some point maybe wish they wouldn't have said to us. That. But having said that too, that's what now as we're older, finding our spouses, we have to make sure times he said you can't take certain things back.
I put girl in the car to bro.
Never.
You know, situation. The last place you could go come to bro. My sister,
I think that's right.
when I go, when it comes to relationship with me, I always treat it as a friendship, but more.
Yeah, exactly. So I would never call my brother, right? She's not my brother. she's my best friend. That's a difference between being a best friend and a girl. And being a girl, like, you know, the homie or the funny, like, you know, cool.
I've been girls still fucking. What they say?
So some girls, you know what I'm saying, they feel fine with saying, it's not the other, because that's just how they go. You don't, you know, rock that in yourself. Whatever. And some people feel that, and that's fine. That's not something that I'm really compromise and do with.
So your girl call you bro, I do that.
We don't do that. She knows. And I know too. We don't do that.
Just give it.
We absolutely don't.
You got some clicks on you?
Tips. So right now, shout out to Tips.
Oh, that's crazy.
Not to take
This is definitely a rocket.
I ripped it off. That's what I did. Boom.
It's the slipper.
It's the very sleep and all that chocolate.
Like you never like it.
Hey, and big shout out to Tips Street. I got a sneaker deal with chocolate.
It's chocolate chip.
Ooh, it's fall. Hey, shout out Vicky. Apple super bike.
He definitely did everything. He definitely did awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely a rocket.
Well, and
So what else y'all got?
Cool.
Yeah, any questions?
So, before we, you did yours, your generational place that you, the game for yourself. So,
yeah, mine was the one that I was ready on. That's the one I talked about sometimes. The whole conditioning, you know, like the whole conditioning, like how to approach the world, that's daily, you know, how to deal with relationships, stuff like that. As I got older, that was just one that I realized that I struggled with, that I didn't even know I was struggling with it. I started breaking it down. I'm like, bro, I didn't take it serious myself. Between the messages that I was receiving from mentors and honestly being actively contact, I should have never had to go through it. I ain't got no business.
At least go to
No, I had no business having no girlfriend. Like any girl that I was seeing at the time, her hopes is, you know, this might be my husband in my relationship. That wasn't an option for my knowledge of myself. I just wasn't an option for me. So, but I realized that I started thinking like, that's how I should
So you hit me hard.
I would say mine would be slow to anger. So, me growing up, I was very disciplined. Got it. In my life, I had some things right. I still my pops, and my pops had the type of beach on me. So I'm very thankful for that. But there's some things like get loud, and to me, like, I can't get loud like that. This is part of mine. Because as I grow up, I essentially times get loud, you know, people, you know, it's just like, why am I doing this? Why do I need to do this? You know what I mean? There's no need for it. So therefore, I can't get loud. Even if I'm upset, I can't get loud. Yelling at her. I may not curse at her, but I'm saying something or if I were to yell at her, I can't. For me, I have to change to break out of that. Just something goes wrong, get in an argument, just raise the top of my voice. I used to yell a lot. Well, I used to yell a lot.
I'm just like, I'm just, in my experience in my relationship, I've been confronted for not touching people. Like, so, like, yo, if you're just so nice, like, you're just so chill. Like, show some emotions. Yeah, you can hear.
No, I used to be. I only been in a couple of relationships, so I never really come on with like being friends, especially the guys I found. You know what I mean? Getting pissed off. Why am I extending all that? To extend that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. I don't want to fight fire with fire type deal. Because, I mean, being on the top of this break the generational person, and being honest, I gotta kind of give, you know, that's the credit. I definitely actively break the generational person. I've been witness to domestic violence, the time person was there, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm thankful for my parents had. I think that's I've had a situation there about that. Just saying, still, like people go through all the time. It's not something that I'm programmed to be with. I saw my negative effects. And it's been something that's been very comfortable for me since a child. I do not want things to happen. Like I'd rather be by myself than this thing. Okay, I think all this stuff. But yeah.
Absolutely. So with that, let's see if we have any questions. Chat. Any questions in the chat? Let's see if we have any questions coming out from the chat. Appreciate all y'all for watching. If you have any questions in the chat right now. While we're checking on that, fellas, what is when we're talking about generational parasites? We'll call it what's generational wealth that you can use for what's one generational wealth that you can leave for your next or generational blessing. What's a generational blessing that you want to leave?
There are people in the world who are buying
To yours.
it's comfortability comes no, so less worry, like this is have to go people with milestones, no shit. I want to be more comfortable there.
So it's an example that you want the comfortability that you
Safe and sustainable. Always parents up to always say what's going to.
Okay.
It's not a
Okay.
Hey, we like that. I typically like it. So, I'm lost. Yeah, that's an option. But it's nice to know that it's there if I need it. I don't need it. Yeah, he likes to like I talk to a lot of my friends and stuff. Some people are really shocked, like how often I can just like post my parents' crib. So I don't really discuss it. I won't. So pull it all over right now. Like unannounced. I got somebody looking at me weird, like go to your parents' house on. Like yes, it's like you don't. So I think you want to do that. And honestly. You'd be shocked.
What question?
We have
What
questions.
What are some tips to help approach women who are out of your league?
If you have identified that she is out of the league, leave her the fuck
Two choices: one, leave her alone, or three, she's a man for you're not.
What are you trying to accomplish with a woman that you have already identified? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do?
Just trying to prove
So I'm going to say this. One, how do you know that she's out of your league? If not, don't really try. Because some people think that some guys think women are out of their league, but in reality, women think that they're out of guys get. So how do you know unless you really approach and try? You show them, you know, you are going to try to find nothing, right? And then you assess the situation. Now, if it becomes that she's too fully, and you already know, hey, I'm not ready for this, and she, you know, honestly, you know, just look better, leave her alone. Don't try to go up and mess up something you can do that's wrong. You want to because, I mean, a woman can honestly,
It's 2025. You're gonna hurt yourself in the end.
okay, let's
These women is not playing with y'all.
let me break it down to people. Let's just say, for example, a woman makes, you know, 6 figures, right? She's doing well for herself, and you know, house, car, she's got herself set up. You're name, I don't know that maybe, you know, 50K or whatever, you're starting off, you're trying to get yourself, and you're taking care of yourself. You feel like that woman potentially might be out of your league because she's making this, that's all that, right? But you won't know unless you wait a talk to her in a picture, because at the end of the day, she could be up there, hey, yeah, I'm making this and doing all that, and I'm making this money, but at the end of the day, she still feels like, I'm gonna find somebody who's like, going to truly be princess. Like, you know, find somebody who can actually give her that security, which isn't always the money aspect of it. So they not necessarily have unless you really try. So you gotta assess that situation.
I would challenge whoever has that question to ask the closest woman that you have a proximity to and see what her answer is. Because listen, I think Marshall said some good stuff. He said some really good stuff. He might work for somebody. But bro, if you looking at a woman and she makes 6 figures and you don't really know where near 6 figures, go wash your front away. Get away from her. Like, don't even tell her and walk away. Cut it out, bro. Bro, like her leisurely time, like her leisurely hobbies is probably a ring there. Like, and she's going to talk about that. Like 9 times out of 10, it's 2025. Like, if you can't bring nothing, I mean, I just like you already showing. Before we start talking money, you're already showing that you don't feel confident if you're asking the question. Yes. So, and if you don't have the confidence, it don't matter. Like, she might not even be out of the league. You might even have her league. But if you don't have the confidence, you're going to sabotage the situation. You need to focus on yourself, focus on the space that you conquer. You're gonna train yourself attempting to, you know, chase after something that you don't even think is attainable. I mean, it just comes down to what kind of youth you are. But if she was free, like,
Confidence is key. That's what I said. You know, you gotta be more confident when you have this situation. Sometimes it's very out just because you walk up to me, it's just so beautiful. One of those things that is that the other. You know, you may look at her like she's a 9 or a 10. She may really feel it with herself that she's like a 5 or a 6. So she really, and they look at you like you're a 9 or a 10. So you never know unless you never know. It's all about confidence, like you said.
Always shoot your shot. Always shoot your shot.
Okay. We got another question.
So that's generation of curses.
Yep. So at the end of the day, guys, I think we touched a lot of Jewish curses. Generational blessing, lasting, never the same generational blessing. Which things that promote good health. Good health goes a long way from the one happy, healthy life. Real, and it doesn't necessarily mean go out on exercise. You gotta make sure you take care of mental health. Make sure you take care, eat right, drink lots of water, make sure that you're getting the nutrients in the body, and also make sure you get your teeth checked, make sure you get it in the doctor, get the check. So that's why I live in the it's that generation so for generation. We went over a lot of stuff today, guys. It's a good conversation. It's a good conversation. I hope that everybody watching learned into other, you know, let us know in the comments some more generational curses that you have in your life that you embrace, and it's generational blessings that you
We make some shorts for YouTube to find you ask questions.
Upcoming events.
So, real quick, we have some upcoming events. All right, the first live podcast, I think, again, to Porta Rossa for hosting us. Next, shout out Porta Rossa.
I go by the city. I mean.
Next week, we will be on the road again. On Tuesday, we will be at May. Right? I know we are excited to go there. Have the setup. That will be Tuesday. Podcast will start around 8 p.m. again. So everybody get a chance to check us out there. Bring questions again. Have a brand new question for that. And then the following Tuesday after that, so that'll be July the 8th. That we'll be doing that. In July the 15th. We'll be doing another Pop Food Challenge back at Summer. So that will be fun too. Last time we had the men, and this time will be reversed. So we'll have the women holding the balloons and the men getting to choose. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to some of that as well. Thanks again to Tips Treats for the cookies. Really, really good.
Shout out to the streets. The delivery was more shaky.
Hey, somebody get these streets.
All of our crew for being here. Appreciate everybody.
Choke.
Oh, God.
Keep us appreciate having you on here.
Yes, sir. The easiest man. Don't make us wish that this
Before having a wedding or flying us be angry. Have a good time, man. These guys, me and Marsh, and we'll get shot.
Shouts to the creator. Ignore.
And then Marsh with two of us and the boy Avery, and we will see y'all next time. And some good shit.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.